my name is Gabriella, and I'm going to be showing you how to floss your teeth. Now, there are various types of flosses. You have string floss, you have the floss picks, and then I also have a little interdental proxy brush that is kind of a cool alternative for certain people. Now, I will get there with the proxy brushes towards the end. However, I really want to focus on the floss. My favorite type of floss is a microfiber floss. It's thick, it's gentle, and it expands in your mouth. And there's a lot of texture that's going to help remove that plaque in an efficient way. If you use glide floss, there's not a lot of texture to it, and it's kind of like silk that rubs against your teeth. You want something that's going to be like a sponge that's going to have a little bit of a rough surface. So maybe using a floss that's kind of waxed to help remove that plaque out. With your string, you're going to place it in between the teeth. You're going to seesaw your way in. Be careful of the gum line triangle over here. You're going to cup the tooth into a C-shaped method, kind of squiggle it around, going up and down, and then go up over the gum line and back into the tooth behind it. Again, going from side to side, up and down to make sure that you're getting all of those tooth areas. And then coming up, going into the other teeth, sliding down, kind of moving around to make sure that you're removing that plaque. It's kind of like you're brushing in between, going up over the gum line and pressing on the back tooth, making sure that you're rounding on the back to cup the tooth versus just going in straight side to side. If you go in straight side to side and just seesaw like this, you're actually doing more damage to the gum versus actually getting food out of the tooth. Pull against the tooth, cupping it in a C shape, going back and forth, lifting it up over the gum line, and then cupping against the back tooth. You can see that it's cupping the tooth, getting around here on the round edges, cupping it versus going straight in. Doing it for these teeth, you're going to go in, side to side, cupping the tooth, really pulling that string across. Be careful of the gum line, over the gum triangle, and then cupping the tooth in the back, going up and down, and then taking it out. Now, when it comes to the floss, I like to get about an arm's width or 4 arms length, maybe a little bit longer. Really depends on your teeth. I pinch it with my pointer and my thumb, and I wrap it around my pointer fingers. You can also do it around your middle fingers. You want to make sure that you're keeping a nice gap in between so that you can actually use the pointer fingers to guide the floss into the area. So let's say I'm looking in the mirror. Again, creating that space, you can use your middle or your pointer finger. And sliding it back out. So you can see I kind of seesaw my way forward and back, pressing nice and tight against the string, and this will help it kind of go in easier. You always want to make sure that you wipe the floss and that you're moving it along, rotating the area, because if not, one, you're just going to be passing the plaque and the buildup along, and it's also going to wear out the floss. So make sure that you're changing the area of floss as you go along. So depending on which tooth or area, you want to use one of these 3 fingers. And this is what's going to help guide it either forward or backward, and even using your thumbs to press up for the top teeth and the pointer fingers to go down on the bottom teeth. Let's say you're using the plackers, you want to use about I would say you want to use about 2 to 4 of them. So if you break your mouth apart into 2s or quarters, then you're going to use one for each quadrant. The reason why is because one, the plaque is going to transfer over, so you always want to make sure that you're wiping them down. And two, because the material of the floss is actually going to wear out, thin out, and it won't create as much tension or texture to remove that plaque buildup. Let's say now you're using the floss picks. Most people, they tend to just jab that floss right in and they actually nick the gum right over here. What I want you to do is go in, cup against one tooth, making sure that you're really cupping against it. You can see a little bit of that angulation there over the gum line and then pressing it against the other tooth going up and down. Let's say we're going in with a pick in the back. Most people, again, they just go up and they nick the gum right up here. What you want to do is go in, press against the tooth, and then go up and down, and you're avoiding that middle of the gum and making sure that you're really cupping against the tooth. Now we have our proxy brushes. The cool thing about these is that they bend. So here it's going to be easier to get up into that angle of that tooth. Most people, they try to go back and forth this way, which isn't, again, necessarily wrong. I want you to do this. And I also want you to make sure that you're going up into that gum line area, angling it up at that 90-degree angle. So there's going straight perpendicular and then angling it up. In some cases, you might need to twist it around as well. It really depends on your pocket size and the space that you have in between your teeth. These are going to be great for people that have crowns or implants. Some people with really large gaps can, and there's various different types of sizes. This is one of the wide ones and it will say on the package. So in tight spaces, this will not fit.